we're going to buy this shawarma with this Bitcoin. You ready?
The guy you just heard teaching people how to buy that shawarma with Bitcoin is going to be the next probable Prime Minister of Canada. This unexpected development follows the recent announcement by Justin Trudeau, known for his anti-crypto stance, that he will be stepping down after 11 years at the helm of Canadian leadership. Trudeau's resignation has all the crypto lovers optimistic by opening the door for a crypto-friendly successor. The contrast between Trudeau's skepticism towards digital currencies and the pro-Bitcoin stance of his potential replacement, Pierre Poilievre, couldn't be starker, signaling a possible shift in Canada's approach to cryptocurrency regulation and adoption. As the nation prepares for this transition, all eyes are on the charismatic Bitcoin enthusiast who might soon be making decisions from the Prime Minister's office. Let's delve into Trudeau's parting words and examine the implications of this seismic shift in Canadian politics.
Last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process.
This unexpected move opens the door for a significant shift in leadership, with Pierre Poilievre emerging as the frontrunner according to Polymarket predictions. The potential ascension of a crypto-friendly Prime Minister could herald a new era for digital asset policies in Canada. Polymarket, a decentralized prediction market platform, currently shows Poilievre leading the odds, reflecting growing public sentiment and speculation about Canada's political future. This transition could mark a pivotal moment for cryptocurrency adoption and regulation in the country, potentially aligning Canada more closely with nations embracing blockchain technologies and digital currencies. Now let's listen to how a few years back Justin mocked Pierre Poilievre for asking people to buy Bitcoin if they want to get rid of inflation.
We haven't really seen a lot of concrete proposals from Mr. Poilievre. I mean, he did make one. That's not fair. You're right. He had one great opportunity for people to opt out of inflation. He recommended this last spring. You can opt out of inflation if you invest your money in Bitcoin. Yeah. No. He stayed up late, watched all sorts of YouTube videos, and came to that conclusion. He said that himself. Buy Bitcoin. Opt out of inflation.
Justin Trudeau's mockery of Pierre Poilievre's Bitcoin advocacy has aged poorly in light of recent market developments. Since Poilievre's controversial suggestion to invest in Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency has experienced a remarkable surge, appreciating by an impressive 135%. This significant increase not only validates Poilievre's stance, but also highlights the potential of cryptocurrencies as a viable investment option. The dramatic rise in Bitcoin's value serves as a testament to the growing mainstream acceptance and adoption of digital assets. It also underscores the importance of forward-thinking policies regarding cryptocurrency regulation and integration into the financial system. Poilievre's early recognition of Bitcoin's potential now appears prescient, potentially bolstering his credibility on economic matters. This turn of events has implications beyond just personal vindication for Poilievre. It raises questions about the need for a more nuanced approach to cryptocurrency policy in Canada. Now moving on, let's watch what the next Prime Minister of Canada had to say about Bitcoin and why people believe he is pro-Bitcoin.
So one day Nixon went out and Tricky Dick, and he said, we're closing the gold window, breaking the link temporarily with gold, right? And they started printing cash like crazy. And what happened? Inflation started to run rampant. The rich got richer because all their assets inflated in value, but the working people got screwed as their wages devalued. The gap between rich and poor, which had been shrinking, started suddenly to expand. American society started to become more divided. Now, of course, both Republicans and Democrats loved it. Republicans because it inflated Wall Street, and Democrats because it inflated Washington. Big government and big business loved the idea of all of this inflation. It was good for them, right? So Pierre Trudeau was Prime Minister in Canada, and he looked down at all the divisions and all the inflation and all the suffering, and he said, let's have some of that up here. And he started printing money. What happened? Fast forward to the present. In 2008, we saw loose financial policies that flushed the banking system with easy cash and caused a massive collapse in the banking system to force people to think twice. People stood up against the wealthy 1%. who had benefited, and all the bankers who had caused this crisis, along with the bureaucrats and the politicians in Washington, they got off scot-free. So a pseudonymous programmer called Satoshi Nakamoto created a system, a protocol of direct person-to-person, peer-to-peer cash payments with no requirement for a financial intermediary whatsoever. And to get around the easy cash, the easy money policies that had caused these bubbles to inflate and burst, he programmed it so that there could never be more than 21 million of these units of account. And as a result, people started to adopt it as an alternative to the fiat system. Over the last several years, we've seen more and more money printing by politicians, again, south of the border. They started it with quantitative easing, right? Another fancy word for easy money printing. And what did this Trudeau do? He looked down and said, let's have some of that up here, just like his dad. And what have we got? They doubled our housing prices. They forced our young people to live in their parents' basements until their early 30s. They priced single mothers out of nutritious food. They prevented our working people from being able to go for a hunting or fishing trip on the weekend because they can't afford to gas up their car. They call it just inflation, right? Just inflation. And people are standing up and fighting back against that. They want to take back control of their money. So that means that we need to go back to a hard money system that keeps inflation low, stop the unnecessary spending.
Pierre Poilievre's campaign for a return to hard money principles has resonated with many Canadians frustrated by inflation. He has consistently criticized Justin Trudeau's government and the Bank of Canada for their monetary policies, coining the term just inflation to link rising prices directly to Trudeau's leadership. Poilievre's proposed policies include restoring monetary discipline, ending what he calls money printing, and implementing a pay-as-you-go law to cap federal spending. He's also pledged to audit the Bank of Canada's pandemic policies and stop the development of a central bank digital currency. Let's listen to some of his policies he is planning to implement.
Freedom to choose other money. The government is going to abuse our cash. We should have the right to opt to use other higher quality cash. So one, what does that mean? One, we need to reject a China-style ban on Bitcoin. Because we know that why China's doing it. They want to crack down on the liberties of their people, and they know that when people can control their own money, they can protect their own freedom. So we must keep cryptocurrencies legal. Two, we need to bring together the provinces and the federal government to streamline and simplify the regulations to have consistent rules across provinces so that blockchain companies can operate in Ontario, Quebec, and Alberta, and other provinces at the same time without being confronted with a cobweb of regulations that are preventing people like Ali from expanding his business and using more crypto. And three, we need to have a simple system that allows our people to understand what the tax rules are. Because right now, when you dispose of your Bitcoin in order to buy a product, you have to pay a capital gain. We need to simplify that as well. So that is my plan, to enable Canada to become the blockchain and crypto capital of the world. Blockchain is now being used for all kinds of other applications. The Ethereum system is allowing people to have smart self-executing contracts, decentralized finance, so that people can raise money or get insurance without going through big, powerful multinational corporations in order to do it. Non-fungible tokens, which will give you the ability to claim title over things both in the virtual world and in the tangible world without having to spend all your money on legal bills, and to enforce those contracts automatically and organically through a blockchain that is irreversible and uncensorable. All of these innovations should flourish here in Canada.
Poilievre's vision to make Canada a crypto hub mirrors Trump's ambitions for the U.S. Both see cryptocurrencies as tools for economic freedom and challenging traditional finance. While no joint effort is confirmed, their aligned goals could spark a North American crypto alliance. However, they face regulatory hurdles and opposition from established financial institutions. As politics evolve, potential Canada-US collaboration on crypto remains intriguing. Only time will reveal if these shared aspirations lead to coordinated action or separate national approaches in the dynamic world of digital assets.